Alright, boys, it is gauntlet day. Now, as you guys can see, still rocking Mahomes at quarterback, best quarterback in this game. One thing that I do mention is I do hop around like quite a few different accounts. So if you see like a lot of different cards on my account than the Mahomes video, that is why. For me personally, this was actually the account that I won the Heisman House Challenge on. So the guy's account that I did actually use, I always told him that I'll always just play his gauntlets for him no matter what. He helped me out so much, obviously, with that tournament. I feel like the least I could do is play his gauntlets. With that being said, though, this is a team that we are using. Basically the same abilities for Mahomes. The only thing is I did throw dots on him. I did think that dots is something that does just light up a decent amount. So basically what I did is I just threw dots on him, and then I took off, it was 360 on Reggie Bush. Everything else is basically the same. Sure hands, take off, sure hands, take off, sure hands, take off. Just kind of in the different positions that we are using. We will be using Michigan offense for this video too. For me, I do still love Michigan. I think Michigan is one of my favorite offenses this year. I get like a lot of questions too about like what offense do I currently run. I honestly just wake up and I kind of just pick before my like my gauntlet what offense I do want to run. I'm kind of at the point of the year. I'm just trying to keep it fresh. I'm not trying to be bored by it or anything. I always try to have one gauntlet a week in Michigan personally, just because I've obviously had so much success in this book. It's also just fun for me too, just to still have that familiarity into a book. But I still rock Illinois. I still rock Buffalo. There's just so many different schemes that I've ran at this point that I kind of just interchange between all of them. Now, defensively, basically still going to be the same for takedowns, for ball hawks, and then for quick jumps. I think it's the best ability setup. I actually can't imagine I'm going to rock much different of an ability setup as the year goes on. Now, maybe I'm insane. Maybe like with a month left to go, they're just going to go insane with these abilities. But for me personally, like I just think that this is the best ability setup that you can possibly have. Team-wise, pretty similar. Only thing that's slightly different is we do use Hunter Wohler on this account instead of Dcroft Davis. I will say that one thing that does kind of worry me on this account, my DBs are kind of short. They're not the tallest. I want to say all these guys are 6 foot or lower outside of Wohler. I know Wohler's tall enough. I think he's 6'2", if I'm not mistaken. But we are running 4-3 multiple on defense. That's 6-1 defense. We are running 4-3 multiple on defense here. But yeah, definitely my favorite account that I've used this year. Have a lot of memories. If you guys actually want a crazy throwback on this account, I actually still have one of my favorite cards from the start of the year on this account. All right, my apologies, boys. The game actually did crash right there. Not sure why it happened. Back to what I was saying. This card has literally one of my favorite cards of all time on it, which is this Kyle Lewis. This Kyle Lewis is actually like one of the big reasons why I like really had success in that earlier tournament this year. I've literally just always kept this card. I can just never get rid of this card. This is the OG Kyle Lewis. This is like back in November, give or take. I really do hope they give this guy 99. I would love if they give this guy 99. Do I think they will give him a 99? Probably not, but I think he is actually really good for Pitt. I might be wrong. I don't know if I have any Pitt fans that watch my videos, but I would love to be able to see this guy get a really, really good card at the end of the year, just so I can use him one last time. With that being said, though, boys, let's go ahead and get into the games. Real quick, boys, if you guys are a Madden or a CFB player and want to have more fun on the game and win more, throw touchdowns like these, and then also bag the most annoying of offenses, make sure you guys check out civil.gg, where I just dropped my tournament winning CFB25 scheme. We recently did a survey that said 99.2% of players that sign up win more games. Make sure you guys use code Dcroft to save you 30% off at the checkout. Link is in the top of the description, and you'll get instant access to all of the schemes on the website. Boys, we are back with our second post-com this week. As I mentioned earlier in a video this week, we did have some issues on my Twitch VOD. Basically, I just wasn't able to get the Twitch VOD without music, which would have just got copyrighted on YouTube. So I'm just doing a post-com instead. Excuse me. We are in our 6-1 defense, and we finally have our flag up. We got a CFB25 flag up right there. But yeah, rocking our 6-1 defense in the gauntlet here. Love 6-1. It's such an easy defense to run. It really is what I would consider like a very, unskillful defense, bot defense, whatever words you want to use. Very easy to get pressure from it. And the first guy we're playing is actually blocking everybody to pick up this blitz. And for me personally, man, if you're going to block everyone to try to block the blitz, that's fine. He doesn't block everyone right there, and we're able to get some good, easy pressure. Biggest thing about this defense is the quick jumps. You know, I really don't think this defense is as good unless you have the quick jumps, but with the quick jumps, it just goes to a different tier. Now, right there, actually a good dot by him. Sadly for him, he just had a really bad swerve right there. First and 10 now for me. Actually a good defense by him. I just have to hit my drag very, very late there. And he's actually going to be running a little bit of 6-1 himself. If you ever happen to come up against this defense, the best thing I can recommend is quick reads and running the ball. Those are going to be a lot of the things that you want to prioritize when playing a style of defense like this. Right there, we're just sending everybody. And that's like the big thing about this defense. It's a very just send everybody style of defense. Very rarely are you ever going to want to play coverage out of it. It's just going to be, basically blitzing nonstop. 2 early stops for us to get us up 14-0 right here. And now in the red zone, 3rd and goal. Go to one of my standard red zone plays. Actually, good defense by him. I do just end up settling for 3. You know, look, I get there's a lot of times where I try to get superly aggressive in those situations, but I decided to settle for 3 right there. Right there, he hits me with a great RPO, and he is able to get 7. That's actually one other thing that I forgot to mention. Really, really good against 6-1 RPOs. Any type of like 3-4 odds, 6-1, any of those just 4-3, 3-4 style of defenses, they really struggle to stop RPOs. That's just kind of the way it's already been. Now, right there, actually a really bad read by me. I thought the wheel route was going to run a little bit better, but we were still able to get the first down on 3rd down. Other thing about this defense, a lot of man coverage. Would recommend to have man coverage corners, because if you don't have a good man coverage corner, stuff like that can easily happen where you can just simply be over the top. Right there again, just sending more and more pressure. Mahomes is also really good for beating this style of defense just because he does have platinum extender and he does have the best release. It's just going to give you that little extra half second of trying to get the ball out, where if you're using like a different quarterback, the best example I can give you is like a Justin Fields. I see actually a lot of people still use Justin Fields. I know that card's like a little bit older now, but man, I still see so many people using him. And right there again, he plays, calls a great play, he calls max coverage, and he's actually able to get 7 there again. And, you know, there does come a point where I probably should be playing a little bit more coverage, but for me personally, at this point in the year, man, I want to run my one glitch show. I want to blitz every single play, and I want these dudes just to eventually mess up. Corner strike there. He really just couldn't stop corner strike in this game. We were able to go to it. I felt like every single play, corner strike. Again, they're going to be 7 for us. Now, he tries going back to this RPO. This is when I try to start to adjust. I just missed a tackle right there. I actually had good adjustments on the field. I just have to make that tackle. And again, more max pro from him. So really at this point, this is probably when I should have gone a little bit more coverage. If you notice somebody, like, again, blocking 6, 7 people, and there's times, I kid you not, I even see people block 8 people and run 2-man route combos. At that point, you have to switch your coverage. You can't just keep blitzing them because it's just insane, right? Like, they're just going to pick up the blitz at a point. He gets going back to this RPO. I don't blame him. It was like the one thing he had a little bit of success with. Again, right there. He actually does block everyone right there. Our blitz still comes in. He goes with another RPO right there. Able to get him on a 4th and inches. Just blitz everybody again. A great little quick hitch by him. He did a really good job at just taking what the defense was giving him. He did adjust his game pretty well, you know, earlier in the game. I felt like he was trying to do a little bit too much. He actually did do a good job throughout this game. But right there, we were able to get pressure. You know, those takedowns, one of the big thing about takedowns, people talk about a lot about how it's like the counter to extender. What people don't realize is it's also a massive, massive counter to quarterbacks being able to roll out, because it actually forces them to fumble sometimes. It gives you an increased fumble chance. I don't really see people talk about that enough. Now, game number 2. Now, this was actually probably one of the better gauntlet games I've played in a minute. You know, this guy was actually really good. He runs a lot of different defenses against us. First drive, we go to a lot of simple plays, and then we're able to hit him over the top. Now, the biggest thing about him is he does call a decent amount of gun normal Y off close. That's kind of his main offense. A lot of gun normal Y off close. Right there, we get pressure. And one thing that I will say about next year's game, I do hope like those throw out a sack animations, like, I hope you get sacked like a little bit more. You know, I think a lot of those times there's a lot of reads that are just like bad. bailouts, and I'm not the biggest fan of it. He keeps going to this, he's going to keep going to like these short routes on the 2 wide receiver side. So whether it's a whip route, whether it's a out route like that, he goes to it a lot this game. Now, right there, probably should have been a pick, but just is what it is. Right there, really good play by him. I get super aggressive with my defense. That's one of the things about 6-1. There are just going to be times where you have to get super aggressive with your defense. I decided to get aggressive right there, and he just hit a wide open streak. But we are able to respond. Reggie Bush down the sideline. I thought for a second he was going to get caught there. Thankfully, he did not get caught. Semi-scary read right there. You know, I don't blame him for making the read, but it was probably a little bit closer than he would like, and then we get beat with takeoff. Takeoff is one of the things for me at this point in the year. Everyone has platinum takeoff now. You have to be so disciplined in terms of being able to guard it, and you guys can see I just respond with my own platinum takeoff. You know, it's just, you have to be so disciplined every single play, getting your safeties in the right spot, moving them, because if you don't, that's going to happen a ton. First down sack, second down short drag right there to get him onto a 3rd and 12. Really good switch kick by us. That is Rodarius Williams. I believe that's how you say his name. Just R. Williams, if I messed it up. Am able to get the stop. Now, we do go to a little bit of run plays ourselves right here. The reason why I started running the ball, I actually wanted this to be last drive. I didn't want him to get the ball back. Got to capitalize at these end of half drives, so I'm just trying to score with as little time as possible. Kicking 3 with 0 seconds left in the second quarter, also fine for me. Not going to complain about it. You guys are going to consistently see we're snapping the ball at 1 second. Just continue to make that clock bleed. Good defense by him, but we are able to find the drag, and we get exactly what I want. Now we're able to just keep bleeding the clock, and Reggie Bush scores a touchdown with 17 seconds left. So great end of half drive by us. And then I get beat by takeoff. I remember this, and I was just so sick at this point. You know, I can't have something like that. 15 seconds left in half. It's one of the weaknesses about 6-1, I will say, and maybe it's not a weakness about 6-1, but maybe it's more the style of defense I was playing. I was just blitzing everyone, every single play. This gauntlet, I was like, man, honestly, let me see how good this blitz actually is. So you guys can see, like, every single play, I'm rarely ever dropping into any form of 4-man, even 5-man pass rush. And, you know, he did a great job at finding that streak open down the field. And, you know, that turns this into a game now. Now, he does actually start going to a little bit of Wildcat here. He is in the Oregon playbook. Good whip route again by him. That was sickening, though. That is just a cloud flat. Kind of would like that to be played a little bit better. But, again, he's done a really good job this game. Played super patient. I am able to get a fumble. We aren't able to recover that. And, again, you guys can see just 6 people on the blitz every single play. I'm going to force him to make a good read. And right there. Great read by him. Nothing else to say. But we are able to respond with my own takeoff. Big play. Not touchdown that time, but a big play from takeoff. If you really don't have 5 takeoffs. If you don't have at least 2 takeoffs, you're insane at this point. It makes offense 10 times easier. That in sure hands. 2 of my favorite receiver abilities currently in this game. Back into the red zone here. Reggie Bush over the middle. Love that route. That's from corner strike. Great route over the middle of the field. Reggie Bush runs it probably better than anybody else I've had. Really good blitz by us right there. And this is actually the first time I finally dropped into coverage in this video. I just was like, man, okay, you know, he's actually played really good offensively against me. Let me just go ahead and drop into coverage. And, you know, I actually started adjusting a little bit more this game. You guys can see I drop into coverage again there. This time we're only sending 5 people instead. This time, again, just dropping into coverage. And, you know, I'm kind of winning that chess match. You can see he's actually blocking his tight end and running back a lot. So massive win for us. If you can get somebody to block everybody in the backfield, that's a massive win. Now, he's still finding ways to get plays to work, but, you know, he hasn't had the greatest offense to this point, and that one was insane to me. I don't know how that one wasn't a pick. I remember sitting there just basically in awe, like, how is that not a pick? But, you know, he's still in the red zone, even if he does end up scoring here, which he does. We're going to have last drive here, so not overly worried about it. Take off again, Brandon Ayuk down the sideline. And I'm actually not even trying to score here. I'm just trying to kick a field goal with 0 seconds left on the clock. So another run play right there. He's actually not using his timeouts. Was a little bit surprised by that. We have, I think that's Zion Branch. There's the USC receiver that I know transferred to Georgia. And right there, as you guys can see, we're able to run, get the first down, get into field goal range, and then we just have a simple pooch kick to win that game. Really good game, and that is the gauntlet run. This is the last post-com that you guys will see. I have everything set up. For those that are still watching the video, I actually have this new camera. This is probably the last time I'm using my old camera. I have this new Sony camera that I did just recently buy. I forgot to buy one thing for it, so I am getting that. You guys can see, background is set up. Stream is set up. Everything should be good going forward. So last time I'm going to be doing a post-com like this. I appreciate you guys all a ton for tuning in to these videos. As I said, if you guys do like these post-coms, let me know in the comments. I can do them more. I like live comms better. I think live comms are way better personally. But if you guys really like these post-coms, do let me know. And maybe I'll try to mix them in a little bit more going forward. I appreciate you guys all for watching. I'll see you guys all next time.